Okay, so we're live. This is gonna be a test. Don't mind all the rambling around. I still haven't figured it out. The setup I have, as you can see, is a bit messy. But today I'm gonna edit a photo and hopefully some of you will understand what I'm doing and it will be easy to follow. I have already the photo I'm gonna be editing here in Lightroom. I actually took these photos in my kitchen with two lights, two strobe lights and some cardboard. You can actually see here in the edge the cardboard. I'm gonna take the headphones off. I think I'm hearing myself in feedback. So it's gonna be an easy one. The lighting was, I'll actually show you the lighting that I used to create this. Let's see, where is that lighting? So this is the setup I had. It's like holidays for you. Just gonna turn the audio down here. So this is the setup I had. So basically, one light, bare bulb coming from the back, and it's hitting this side of the shoe, and a top light coming from a rectagonal softbox. And this one is a bit more powerful, and it's basically lighting the whole scene. And with that setup, I got this image, as you can see. Just a few bits that we could change to make this look better. You can actually see, for example, the strings I use a fishing line to attach the shoe. You can see the fishing line here. You can see the fishing line in the back there. You can see the fishing line here and all that. So we're gonna get rid of all that to make the product photo look more real, more legit. I also did, without moving the shoe, I did this exposure with a young Nuo light, and it was a long exposure. I had to make sure not to move the setup or the camera to capture this, so both of the photos align together. I did another one. This one I ended up not using it. I actually prefer the blue one, and that's the one I went ahead and edited. So what we're going to do is, once the photos are imported in Lightroom, you're going to select the photos, and I am going to edit in Photoshop. So we're going to open as layers in Photoshop. That would be the one. If you click edit in Photoshop, they will open as two separate files. We don't want that. We want one file. So we're going to open as layers in Photoshop. So I'm going to put some music to make this a bit more appealing. So let's just play some music in the background there. Cool. I'm using, by the way, I'm using Epidemic Sound for the music in the background. So hopefully you enjoy that music. So the first thing we should do is get rid of the efficient lines, which would be the kind of easiest thing we could do to this image. I'm also gonna see if the two images are actually perfectly aligned, so we can do that by, I'm gonna put this one in the front. I'm gonna get the opacity a little bit low. I'm gonna get that opacity a little bit low to make sure that the images actually, yeah, they're actually not bad. You can see where the image is. So if I bring the opacity to like 60%, I can see that there's a slight shift in the image. You can actually see it here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. You can see it here that the image actually did move, or the shoe moved a little bit. So we could correct that very easily by aligning. See, you can see here. So let's correct that first, and then we can begin editing. So I'm going to move the top image just a tiny bit. I have the wrong tool selected. Bad mistake. Okay. So I'm going to move that image a tiny bit. I'm pressing the down arrow until I get those two images better aligned. They don't have to be perfect for what we're doing, but ideally you should probably try to get this as close as possible on camera, so you don't have to fix things after the fact. So I'm kind of happy with that. Let's go to this corner here. I can see the light shift, so we'll move that a little bit more, and that should be it. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with how that worked there. Okay, so we're going to turn this layer off for the time being, and we're going to begin working on this layer. I'm going to bring it actually to the top. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create new layer, and this layer we're going to call it string. So string it is, and we're going to go and zoom in to this section here. We're going to get our brush healing tool, not the spot one, but the healing brush tool. And I am going to make sure that I am sampling current and below, and that should be it. We're going to begin. We're going to sample here, and with the brackets we can put the size of the sample bigger or smaller. I'm going to go with medium size here, and I'm just going to give that a test. and see if that works. Yeah, that's working for me. And we're going to begin. Didn't like what it did here, so I'm gonna sample here. Yeah, there we go, like that. Let me see if my audio is coming louder than the music I'm playing. I actually have the stream here just to test it out. Cool. Yeah, you can hear me and you can hear the music, so the stream is not as boring. Okay. I'll continue. So again, you press Alt and then sample an area close to the area you want to kind of clean, and then you click and drag, and you can see that the sample keeps on moving. If you hit a line, it will keep on moving the sample area with your selection. So again, we'll continue here. Need to be careful in the edges when you're sampling, because if you're sampling from another area and you go to the red, then you're going to make this white. We don't want that. So I'll click sample here and continue. Sample here and continue. There we go. That's not too bad. That's the easy part. Let's see. There's 3 people watching. Okay. That's a start. Not a million. It's 3, but it's a start. Let's see. Where can I sample this? So in this area, these are complicated. When there's 2 colors or 2 textures that are completely different, and you're going to sample an edge, if you sample it incorrectly, then you destroy this edge. So we need to make sure to sample here, for example. See that what happened there is because I'm sampling, but it's touching this area. So the sample kind of, the software recreates what it thinks the color should be. So if there's a hard edge, sometimes this happens. So we're gonna go back, Control Z. I'm gonna sample close by here. I'm gonna see if I can fix that there. Yeah. So see, we still have a tiny section to correct there, but we can just easily do that by doing this. Or we can check this area here. There we go. You never notice that there's a string there. It's a slight imperfection there. Let's see if I sample here. No, I like the way it was. So we'll leave it like that. You should take more time doing your samplings. Okay, so I'll continue with the string. Sample here on the side. Delete. Sample here on the side. Delete all that. By the way, this time I use a very thin fishing line. It's actually very easy to delete or to blur out. Sometimes if the product is more heavy, I have to use a kind of thicker fishing line, and it's actually harder to kind of get rid of. Let's see if you can see that. You can see that tiny bit. So I'm gonna open my sample size a bit bigger, select here, and I'm gonna just click. And we're almost there. That is it. One gone and a few more to go. The other one is in the back, so it shouldn't affect too much. It's just in the background, so that's not a problem. Okay, we'll continue sampling here. Sample here. Okay, that's another one gone. Almost there. Let's try this one on. This one is a bit more complicated. So it has a bit here and then that bit. So let's do this one that's easier first. Okay, that's good. Brush healing tool. The miracle. It works so well. Love this tool. Okay, we're gonna continue here. I'm gonna put my sample area a bit smaller. Sample here. Delete that. Sample here. Okay, in this case, we're gonna do what we did before because of the edge. I'm gonna sample the edge here and see if I can delete that there. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna sample here to kind of clean this a little bit. That's it. You would never have guessed there was a string attached there. So, okay, next one. Next one. Let's see where we are gonna do. Okay, we can do that one first. Yeah, let's try this one here. So I'm gonna try the edge first. I'm gonna correct that edge, sample in the edge, move it over here. That should clean that. Sample here and continue going up. Alt, samples, and then click and drag, and you are basically copying one side of the image to the other side, and that's how the string is deleted. There we go. There's a weird shadow here. We can clean that up in a bit, but let's continue with the rope, with the strings first. Okay, I'm gonna put this a bit smaller. Sample here. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good enough. This one might be a bit tricky, but hopefully this tool would give us good results. Yeah, that works. Didn't really like that. Maybe if we sample here. Okay. No, I'm gonna sample here. Yeah, there we go. Sample here. Cool. With brackets, you expand or contract the size of the sample of the area you want to clone. So sometimes you need a small one, sometimes you need a bigger area. Okay, we'll go back down. If you hit space and then click and drag, you can move your canvas. Quite handy. Okay. That music. The good music for you guys, so it's not boring, but it's actually distracting for me. So if I'm trying to talk, it actually takes me away from what I'm trying to do. Okay, here we continue. Not too complicated. Plain background makes it very easy to do this kind of thing. Okay. Click space and drag. That's shortcut, handy shortcut to know. Okay, we're gonna take that last one out. It's actually almost, it's so thin that it's almost disappeared, but you can kind of barely see it here. So I'm gonna begin sample here, click here, and click there. Sample here. Actually, another quick little thing. If you hold shift, if you click, hold shift, and then click again, you delete whole section. So if you click here and then click here, you'll delete whatever is in the middle in a straight line. So that it's actually handy. So hold shift, say I'm going to delete this area. So I hold shift, I click once here and then click again here. Sorry, my sample area was too close to the edge. So I'm going to put my sample area here. Sample area here with alt. So I click holding shift and then click again holding shift, and it deletes everything in between those two dots in a straight line. Just a tiny bit here. I'm going to sample this area in the corner. The same with this. Okay, that is it. I think that's the string's gone. So there's just a few bits that I might correct. Let's see, what can I also clean? Probably can clean that out and clean maybe the glue here in the shoe, maybe clean a little bit, and that's it. So we're going to leave that layer there, and we're going to create a new layer just in case I want to go back. I can probably delete this layer if I make a mistake, and I still have a layer separate when I make my first kind of corrections, you know. So we're going to call this detail, and we're going to begin trying to fix the details on the actual shoe itself. For example, I don't really like these bits of glue. Same tool we're going to be using. Okay, that probably didn't work, so we'll go back. I'm going to open up my sample area, sample here, and I'm going to try that. Yeah, that worked better. And I'm going to do that. Try here, bit of color passing through there. I'm going to sample here. Okay. There's a curve here, so where should I get my sample? Let me see. Sample here. No, that's not really working. Sample here. Sample here. Okay, that looks a bit better. There's a slight kind of blur here, so I'm just going to try to fix that now. Okay, and there's a slight one there, so I'm going to try to fix that now. Okay, that looks better. No more glue in the shoe there. This tiny bit can go away also. With brackets, I'm closing the size of my sample area, so putting it smaller so I can go into the detail. And the same here, we're gonna okay. Let's see what else can we fix here. Those tiny bits in the edges, they don't really bother me that much, but if this was like a proper gig and you know the client is fussy, you might want to take those tiny sections. If this image is going to be blown out and printed massively, if it's going to use in social media, you might not see those kind of tiny bits like this here. But for the sake of the tutorial, let's do this section and clean those bits out. Okay, and then the sample here. Okay, so let's see what else can I clean. I think that's it. There's no more kind of patches of glue in the shoe. Yeah, no, maybe in the point of the shoe here. It's a small thread that we could potentially clean out. I'm gonna sample here. Yeah, there you go. And put that down there. Thread's gone. And that is it. Shoe looks like it's flying in the air now. Well done, well done. Pat myself in the back. We're going to now begin trying to do the merging of the two layers. So I am going to turn this layer back on, put it in the top, and I'm going to play around maybe with the opacity, maybe at 50%. Actually, let's try blending modes. With the blending modes, I could potentially get cool effects. Let's see. This looks nice. I kind of like the lighting effect it does actually. Screen. Lighting effect works. Let's see normal, but lowering the opacity. That might not be too bad. I think I'm gonna actually try lighten. I don't like what that's doing. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with normal. Normal, 50 something percent. No, I won't go with normal. Lighten. Okay, we're gonna go with this effect. 90%, 80%, let's see, 100. Maybe too shiny. Let's go with 90%. Okay. That's looking good. So now my image is gonna be used in Instagram. So this image is the aspect ratio the camera shoots in. I know Instagram is 4:3, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna crop my canvas to suit that. We're gonna go here into the crop tool. We're gonna go and we're gonna enter the resolution we want. Actually, it's 1350 by 1080. The other way around, that way. So 1080 by 1350. So I'm gonna select the area that we're gonna use. Might lower this down a little bit so the shoe is exactly on my rule of thirds. Point of interest, point of interest. That's where your subjects should be, and then obviously the center of the image. I want to hit enter and we crop that, but we don't delete the pixels. So make sure that you don't have delete pixels, delete crop pixels, because we want to use the image. Still want to use it. Okay, that's looking decent now. So what else could we do here? I'm gonna actually try to fix that weird shadow, but before that I'm gonna create a mask. I don't want this layer to affect the color that I had, the red color that I had, because I actually like that red color. It's a bit brighter. Look, if I turn it off, you can see in the top it's a bit brighter. So what we're gonna do is, with this mask on, we're gonna go to black, and we're gonna use a brush, decent size, and we're gonna begin painting. We are at flow 23, maybe bring a bit higher, and smoothing, bring a bit higher. We're gonna begin deleting the mask here. No, not that much. Just want to delete it here on this side. So that way my original red that I had stays. And the second layer only affects the bottom part of my image, so that way we have a better result, and we don't have the ghosting we had before here in the kind of image. Okay, that seems to be working for me. So next, what could I do? I think I'm gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna now with brush tool selected, and then I'm gonna press I. I'm gonna sample this red here. What we're gonna do is something very cool. We're gonna expand with brackets the size of our brush, making sure the brush is kind of relatively soft, and we're just gonna click here. No, that's probably too dark. I'm gonna sample a brighter color, and I'm gonna actually bring the flow to 100 and smoothing to 100. I'm gonna sample here, so that's gonna give my scene another light that wasn't there when I shot the product. So I'll go Ctrl Z again. Look what it's doing. So it's basically giving color. But what's cool about this is I can, with the blending modes, I can change the way the red color affects my image. So for example, in screen works very good, normal, and lightning, no, maybe screen is the one. And it might be a bit strong, so I'm gonna just lower that a tiny bit. Turn that on and off, on and off. Maybe, let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe if I hit another one, leave it like that. And we're gonna create a new one, but this time we're gonna sample the blue color. So if you hit I, your eyedropper opens. Let's sample this blue color here. Brackets, we're gonna expand the size of our brush. That's it. So again, we're gonna go and change the way the light is affecting the scene. In this case, screen might not be the one. Maybe, let's see. I think I like what hard light is doing, but not as strong. I'm gonna lower it a bit. Okay, I like what's that's doing here. I just realized that my layer seems to be moved a little bit. What layer is moved? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okie dokie. I think I'm happy with that image. It could work. It could work. You bring this to your client, say, this is the photo, give me €1,000,000. And there you go. Very simple. I shot it in my kitchen. Fishing lines to kind of make the shoe as if it was in motion. And that's it, you know. You could take it a bit further, maybe create some text or do some other bits. I actually have one that I've already finished, and this is the one. What I did is added the logo from their website. I found the logo, and then added the name of the shoe, which is Fresh Foam, and then added a glow effect, and that's it. It looks like a poster that you could potentially see somewhere in New Balance social media. That's it. That's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial. Hopefully someone would get inspired by this and try to create your own images. Let me know if this works. Again, this is first time I'm doing this. It's a test. So I want to see if it works. Maybe I can kind of create more in the future, and would be good to see if you guys would like to see more content like this. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.